The alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Hi Rogers, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Les Hub Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Les Hub Stores on all our social media platforms. Les Hub, craft your own footprints.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, did you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk. The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Amacha malungi abatukereddeko ku mpewo zaffe za The Alternative Digitalk farwira bikobere mannya gange njagala okubalamusaako nti mwasuze mutya munansonyiwa eddoboozi lyange lirimu ekisujjasujja naye tujja tambulirawo mpolampola kansubire nti muli bulungi banaye tukulika akakuba ka yesterday kansubire nti abamu ku ffe tekatukosezza tuleme okutuula ewaka ng'enkuba etonnye olw'okuba mbu enkuba etonnye nnyo genda kukola oba genda ku ssomero ffe twatambulanga mu nkuba nga tetambula kilometers nga 10 kwabiri nga tugenda ku ssomero ng'enkuba ekuba paka mu kiraasi naye ng'osomye so naye twejjemu obunafu tusobole okubanga ate kubanga attitude yo gy'ozimba ng'oli mwana muto munnaye neekulira ddala paka ku mulimu kubanga ekikuuma emirimu si maanyigo ebeera attitude yo towards work so bannaye tubeere bantu abalina positivity mu mitima gyaffe nga buli kintu ky'olaba olabamu positivity ogamba kisoboka ye ensonga yokka egenda okubanga ate etusobozesa okumalako mu bulamu bw'ensi eno kubanga obulamu busi bwangu ebintu bizibu naye nga njagala okubajjukiza nti muli ku Mighty Drive tubeerawo buli lunaku essaawa zibeera 2 nga twayingiddewo dda paka ssaawa 4 olunaku lwakubiri ennaku z'omwezi ziri 12 omwezi tuli mu gwa 9 omwaka tuli mu 2023 mbaaniriza ngenda kubanga ate mpitaayitaayitako mu mawulire agabaddewo mukwano gy'otaabadde mbere nga mbikugambako ebitonotono kati naawo nja kubanga ate nga bwe mba maliriza dakiika 2 zokka ezinaaba zakayita ku ssaawa 2 negattibweko omukulu Habib Buwembo okuva mu kibiina kya National Unity Platform ate n'omukulu Rogers tuyahabwe tugenda kubanga twogera ku nsonga nnyingi nnyo tugenda kubanga ate twogerako ku mobilization mukama we gyali mukola bintu biyitirivu nnyo so ngenda kukubiriza nnyo obeereko comment section gikozese osobola okubanga otypingamu ekibuuzo ky'endowoozayo ky'oyagala okumanya kyonna tujja kubanga ate tubisoma nga show bwegenda mu maaso ngenda kutandika ne ensonga ya digital number plates omukulu President wa Uganda Yoweri Kaguta Museveni yavuddeyo n'agamba nti digital number plates zirina okubanga zi-implementingibwa kubanga zo zijja tuyambako kulaba nti tukabinga ba criminals era n'avayo n'atucitingira instances nyingi nga abantu ababadde battibwa ababatta babadde batambulira either ku piki oba emmotoka era n'agamba nti kijja kuba kizibu nnyo abantu bano okubanga bakozesa ebigere nti singa babeera ku bigere kiba kyangu okubalaba oba ne kamera okubakwata era yavudde n'ategeeza nti enkeeyana eziri mu kugenda mu maaso wakati wa agencies ababiri naye ze tumanyi bulungi wakati w'omukulu Rotafire ne muhwezi yavudde n'abategeeza nti bannaye baziresolvinge naye ng'ensonga ya digital number plates eyina okugenda maaso eyina okuimplementingibwa muyina okufuna digital number plates omuntu asobola okugamba nti babbye emmotoka zabaddewo zaani wano we babbye so tusobola okubanga ate tukabinga crimes mu Uganda zisinze okubanga zireetebwa abantu abatambulira ku bidduka era yavuddeyo n'ategeeza nakubiza bana Uganda nti always mwanirizenga enkyukakyuka bwebanga enkyukakyuka is for the good so nno munange mwabagobi b'ebidduka abavuga amamotoka epiki ndowooza kekadde mweteeketeeke musoloze kasente kubanga tugenda kubanga ate mugula digital number plates yadde nga bagamba munange gula digital number plate otereze kubo relationship eyo nga sigirabira ddala nti bwe ngula digital number plate ate kubo liba lirongoose litya naye ng'omukulu ye yavudde n'agamba nti enkozesa ya digital number plates egenda kubanga ate tuyambako kukabinga crimes that is relatable osobola okulaba nga kikwataganira ddala nti omuntu gwe tunaaba singa abataka wesinga digital number plates zaaliwo osanga balisobodde okuba tracking so nero ensonga eyo bana Uganda twetanira nnyo digital number plates sobola okubanga ate tubeera mu nsi ekendeddemuko emisango obanga yatusobola okukwata omuntu aba yakoze omusango bwetuvaayo keeyo kugendako wali ku side za HIV omukulu yavuddeyo n'atutegeeza nti ebitundu 7 ku buli 100 ebya new cases za HIV babeera bakyala bannaye abaana ab'obuwala ate n'ategeeza nti bano babeera ba adolescent girls between emyaka 15 n'emyaka 25 bano nno be baana abawala abasingamu okubanga batambuza akawuka akaleeta mukenenya. Omukulu General Director wa Uganda AIDS Commission omukulu Nelson Musoba yabula nategeeza naye ensonga nyingi nnyo ezireetera okuba nti ate HIV prevalence eri nnyo mu bakyalo singa mu basajja era n'anokolayo keezimu n'agamba nti naddala gender based violence mu maka ereetedde nnyo okubanga ate abaana ab'obuwala oba abakyala bali vulnerable to HIV okusinga abaami. N'atuwaayo ensonga endala okuli rape n'agamba nti ate munaye ne rape ereetedde abaana abawala bangi okufuna akawuka ke bateeyagalidde oba ke batanoonyeza kubanga omuntu bw'avaayo n'akwekakaatikako tosobola kuba ng'olinawo omugaanira oba olinawo olwanira. Abantu abasinga naddala abo abatwekakaatikako babeera n'amaanyi otusinga. So nno n'ategeeza nti ezo ensonga ezimu zireetedde HIV okubanga ali nnyo mu baana ab'obuwala abali wakati w'emyaka 15 n'emyaka 25. Mpozi n'okwagala ennyo akasente nakyo yakikoonyeeko n'agamba nti abaana abawala bayitiridde okwagala esente nti ne batafaayo ku bulamu bwabwe nti omuntu agenda ne yeebaka n'omusajja olw'ensonga nti amusuubiza ku ssente naye ng'ate tafuddeeyo biki ebinaavaamu. Ono nno yatuwaddeko example ya last year 2022 n'atugamba nti ku mitwalo 5 mw'enkumi 2 eza new cases eza HIV emitwalo 3 baali bakazi ate 70% of mitwalo 3 baali baana bato abali wakati w'emyaka 15 na 25. So nno kaneno ke kadde abakazi naffe twekolemu omulimu okulaba nti ate tulwanyisa akawuka ka HIV okulaba nga tukeegobamu. Next time bagenda okola statistics nga kale tuzikakkanyeko nga tezikaalamidde nnyo. Tuyigiriza abaana baffe ab'obuwala okukola bave mu kulera engalo n'okusabiriza kubanga buli lw'oyagala ebirungi ng'ate ebirungi toli mu kubikolerera. Omumanya bumanya nti ojja kukwatamu ekuba ebbi okulaba nti ofuna ky'olina ofuna naddala nga tokikoze. Okwagala ennyo essente zetakoleredde nakyo kintu si kirungi nnyo kubanga omukulu yategeezezza nti buli lw'oyagala essente omusajja agenda kuwa ssente naye weebuuze essente ezo zijja naki kubanga ekintu eky'obwerere kibeerako strings attached kibeerako obukwakulizo nti njagala 10 oli ne yeewaayo nti 10 njaddi kuwa naye weebuuze musonyiwe muko weebuze bukwakulizo ki bw'aba akuteereddeko ku ssente ezo. So bannaye tuyigirize nnyo abaana baffe okukola tuleme okubanga ate tubakuza nga tubagamba nti omusajja yalina okukulabirira. Anything a man can do a woman can do. So bannaye abaana ab'obuwala tuyige nnyo ogenda okukola. Tulabye abaana bangi abakyala nga bali mu kupoota nga bali mu kuzimba. Tuleme okutande okukekkereza oba okusaasira abaana baffe ab'obuwala. Omwana wange muwala ebyo tabisobola tewali muntu kyatasobola ekintu kyonna kyotasobola ebeera attitude yo towards it. Buli lw'obeera ne attitude I can do it, you can do it. Buli lw'obeera na attitude yoba nakisobola simanyi nakumanya nti nze ndi mukazi era tojja kubisobola buli lwe weesaasira. So bannaye tubeere bantu balungi nnyo abaagala okukola tuve mu kusaasanya akawuka tuve mu kwebaka n'abasajja abatusingako nnyo obukulu kubanga omukulu yategeezezza nti akawuka kano kabeeranga akafeezinga out naye olw'ensonga ya cross generational sex nti abaana ab'obuwala twebaka n'abasajja abakulu ennyo ng'ate abasajja bano balina akawuka awo nno ne kadda ate mu myaka gyaffe. Twewale nnyo okulaba nga tukola ebintu ebyo kubanga ate si birungi nnyo. Ngenda kuvaako awo ate ngendeko side zeeri ngenda kugendako ewa State Minister of Finance ono nga yali in charge of general duties omukulu Henry Musaasizi yavuddeyo n'asaba abakulembeze b'amasinzizo oba ab'omu church oba ba leaders ba religious leaders okulaba nga ate bakubiriza abavubuka okulaba nga beetanira nnyo nnyini ddala ensonga za government oba programs za government ezibaleetera okwejja mu bwavu okulaba nga ate bakendeezaako poverty eri mu bavubuka ensangi zino nanti togamba tetuyina mirimu buli lwobeera nga toyina kyokola era ojja kubeera mwavu kuba akasente oba osuubira kajjawa ono nno yavuddeyo n'atuwaayo example n'agamba nti kati ng'essaawa eno gavumenti yavaayo ne allocating miliyoni 10 per year per parish okubanga ate ziyambako abavubuka mu parish development model so no nakubiriza bannaddiini okulaba nga bakubiriza abavubuka bano okugenda bajeyo sente zino beetande nnyo programs za government bajeyo sente zino bazikozese si kuzirya banaye sente bazinvesting basobola okubanga ate nabo babeerako ne kyebeekolera mu bulamu bwabwe nga balina awantu awajja we bajja akasente akaabwe jjukire sente zino si zammwe babeera bazibawoze so nno bw'oba ozijjeeyo ziteeke mu kintu ky'omanyi nti kigenda kuzza amagoba awono ne banno abalala babeere nga basobola okuziganyirwamu ono yatuvuddeyo n'ategeezaako nti era gavumenti yateekawo ebbiliyoni 10 buli mwaka mu myoga so nera n'abakubiriza bannaye oba tosobodde parish development model genda applyingire sente z'emyoga osobola okuba nga ate ozifuna ono n'okwogera bino yabadde ku kabaga ka Bishop Annual Appeal Fund side zeri Rubanda parish mu Rubanda district ono nno babadde bali mu kusolooza essente eziwererako ddala obuwumbi 3 billion zino ne ssente nga zigendereddwamu okuzimba university emanyikiddwa nga eya St. Ignatius University eno nongegenda kubeera nga eri owned by Kubali diocese era bano mu mukolo guno basoloozeza essente ezaweredde ddala emiliyoni 178 era nga ye omukolo musaasizi state minister yawaddeyo obukadde 20 in cash era ngono yabadde yatutte n'obubaka bwa Speaker of Parliament Anita Amongi naye ng'era yabaweerezaayo obukadde 20 ono n'omubaka ow'ekitundu naye n'agattako obukadde 6 ne basolooza kukakkana nga baweezezza emiliyoni 178 gyo tujjukire nti ekigendererwa kya kusolooza 3 billion okulaba nga bazimba university enosobola okubanga ate yambako abaana obutava ate mweyo gye banaaba bali ate banonya universities ennungi e Kampala era bano ne bakubiriza nnyo abantu okusonda ssente okulaba nti abaana baabwe tebatambula ngendo mpanvu nnyo okulaba nga banoonya quality education Rubanda nga nvuddeyoko ngenda kubanga ate nzirukako wali mu Amria district ndaba obudde bondese nayo dakiika 2 zokka omusajja omukulu yamanyikiddwako nga Otude James yavuddeyo n'akwata nnyina ow'emyaka 10 rep na repinga mama we owa 100 years omukulu ono wa myaka 53 naye abantu bavuddeyo ne bamukolako ng'amateeka we galagira amateeka tegalagira mob justice naye nga babadde bamukolako emikolo kale nga humanity bweragira naye poliisi yatuuse mu bwangu omukulu ne mutaasa era ali mu ddwaliro naye nga ali under custody ya poliisi era omukulu Frederick nanga yategeezezaako nti omukulu ono wakati w'essaawa 5 ku lunaku z'omwezi nga 8 omwezi ogw'omwenda yavaayo n'agenda n'amenya oluggi lw'akasisira mama we ke yali yeebaseemu n'amusobyako bwe yamala ate munnange n'addayo mu ka trading center okulaba nga yeewaamu eno nno kyaleetera abatuuze okuva mu mbeera ne bamunoonya ne batandika omukolako bo munnaye ng'amateeka gaabwe baali bagakutte so nno poliisi yatuuka mu bwangu nnyo nesobola okubanga omukulu ono omutaasiriza okubanga ate bamumiza omusu ne mutwala mu ddwaliro waali okuumirwa kati ng'afuna obujjanjabi bw'anaavaayo atandika ogasimbagana n'amateeka so katubuulire kituufu yali mentally stable nga bamukozeeko munnange bajja mukolako test okulaba oba omukulu ono yali mentally stable we yagenda ate okukakkana ku maama we amuzaala nno biological mother ow'emyaka 10 n'amwebagajjako n'amutuusaako ogw'obuliisamaanyi so nno munnange ebiri side eyo ya Amlia district ng'amaliriza poliisi yategeezezzaako nti eguddewo general inquiry ku mukulu Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert ono nga ye president wa National Unity Platform mano eri ebigambibwa nti munnange yakoze statements eziri tribal oba sectarianism statements mobilization ze zaali mu kukola mu drivers era bano banokoddeyo ekifo ne bagamba nti oyabadde eruweera eyo yakoze statements ezitanyuma yadde era nga omukulu Frederick enanga yategeezezza nti batandise investigations bagenda kukozesa videos obwabadde shared bagenda kubanga ate batunuulira speech ye yayogedde eruweero balabe bakakasize ddala oba kituufu omukulu ono ebimwogerwako bituufu ekinaasangibwa nti bituufu awo nno bajja kubanga ate bayingizaamu abantu abali responsible kulaba nti ate naye munanga akolebwako ng'amateeka bwegalagirwa okulaba nga ate asobola okubanga ate akomwako ku statements zaali mukola mu drive ze nga mobilizinga abantu be aba National Unity Platform ngenda kubanga ate mpumulamuko katono nnyo bwetukomawo ngenda kubanga negatiddwako omugwenyi wange olunaku lwaleero omukulu Habib Buwembo ate n'omukulu my co-host Roger Stuya. Have a very good morning.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, do you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Les Hub Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Les Hub Stores on all our social media platforms. Les Hub, craft your own footprints.
Hi, Rogers. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can. Although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be normal.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Oli ku Mighty Drive njaga kubakulisayo mukuwumula mukofarwida bikobirege manyagange negatiddwako omukolo Habib Buwembo okuva mu kibiina kya National Unity Platform kya mukisa mulungi nnyo nti abadde ku mobilization drive ya omukolo president w'ekibiina kya National Unity Platform. So nno byonna ebibungesebwa oba ebyogerwa nti omukulu ono yakoze statements ezi secretarian agenda kubanga ate abitunnyonnyola bulungi nnyo kubanga ye yaliyo sibyambu sibyahiyase sibya nalaba video sibya basharingidde message. He was on the ground eluwero gye bagamba nti omukulu ono yayimirira n'ayogera ate statements ezawula yawula mu mawanga. So nno omukulu Rogers tuyahabwe naye aneegaseeko agenda kubanga ate abalamusaako awo nno ayanirize n'omugenyi waffe naye atulamuseeko tutambule mpola mpola. Good morning Rogers.
Good morning Farida. First of all, thank you so much for the updates. I think that is one of the decisions we have decided that every single time we come here every day, we make it a point to get you the information of what has been happening around the communities where you are, but even those in other places, because at the end of the day, no man is an island. What we live and what happens to us happens collectively, and so it's important that we have information to be able to make informed decisions. So thank you very much. And I'm also honored to be here this morning with the Habib. It's not his first time to come here. He's going to be talking to us about a number of issues, most of which are from his party. Excuse me. I am very grateful because
he was once in AFDC.
Yeah, for the longest, and then he goes. He will also talk to us about that, what happened, and what is doing now. And a number of issues that are happening in the country tour for the NUP that is happening, led by the party leader. I don't know if he's the party president.
Yeah.
He's the president of the nation.
No, he's the president of the party. He is the president of the party.
He's the president.
No, he's the president. Party president. Tuleme gamba nti ate president.
Call him the president.
No, tuleme kuwudisa abantu.
Ato kudisa
nga tubagamba nti ate president wa nation nga tesikyali.
Ye president omulonde era abantu ge bakiririzamu.
Omulonde ali mu State House.
So yeah, we're going to be looking at that, and we are very glad that you could join us.
Thank you.
Like she said, and it's also in Uganda, you say you. That you have been a part of the rallies that have been happening in the country too. You don't know if they've been to Mbara, then the Western, I mean,
then Mayoge, Busia,
and then now the Central to the Western. Now Hoima, I understand he was in Hoima yesterday.
Yeah, even
so we are just glad that you are here with us today. And if you could just say hello to our viewers, and then we'll get right into it.
Oh, thank you so much for this opportunity hosting me on the digital drive, Mighty Digital Drive. I am always pleased whenever I receive a call inviting me for this show. By names of Buwembo Habib, a member of National Unity Platform. Led by, yes, led by His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi. As you said, we've been in a national wide. Yes,
Father.
He has a lot of names, Principal, Father, President, and so many. We have been in the nationwide mobilization tour. We have been to districts. I've been part of the tour. I've been to Mbalala, Fort Potro, Kasese, Kabale, Mayuge, Busia, Mbale, Lira, then Luweero. Yeah, it's on Hoima we have not been, but I'm going to Arua tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah.
So kati muna Uganda ali mukulaba drives zino kigendererwa ki? What is your motive? Why are you doing these drives?
Drives zino zigendereddemu kuzuukusa bannayuganda. It is like waking up Ugandans. Bantu badde balobedde nnyo mu birthday parties, talks of birthday, nge ebintu ebiruma eggwanga babivuddeko. Bali mu kudiscussinga standby generator, birthday, ebintu ebifaanaganako bwe bityo. So twatuula ne tukkiriziganya nti twetaaga okuyitamuko okujjukisa bannayuganda tulina eddimu eddene ery'okulibalatinga eggwanga Uganda mu bizibu bye liyitamu, ekibbattaka, ekiwamba abantu, ekitta abantu mu mbeera etasaanidde extrajudicial killings. Ndowooza obadde obiraba bw'obuuza ono musajja mubayita ba tiktokers, Isma Alexis Yafatya, lipooti eriruddawa teryamanyi, n'abantu bangi abafudde mu mbeera efaanaganako bwetyo. Ebimu ku ebyo bye bizibu bye tugenda tujjukiza bannayuganda nti nno temubongoota, muzuukuke tulabe nga twenunula tulibalatinga eggwanga lyaffe ffenna tubeere nga tulyeyagaliramu.
So the message you are taking to Uganda is yokubazuukusa without mulimu mobilizing for the party, like mulimu kuleta abantu bapya kubajoininga.
Our aim is one, mobilizing Ugandans. Second, organizing them to do what? To liberate the country Uganda. So you can call it mobilization, but the mobilization must be having a purpose.
That is not organization, that is mobilization.
After mobilizing, we have been opening offices. I think you've been following. Offices to do what? To organize those who we've mobilized. Then organizing them to do what? To liberate the country Uganda. And you cannot liberate unless there are issues that are calling for the liberation. Yeah, and some of the issues are land grabbing, extrajudicial killing, the poverty, the economic challenges, and we have been discussing those issues to Ugandans wherever we've been.
And I'm glad you did mention that. What generally from the places you have been, from the west to the east to central, now I think you're going to the north after today. What has been the lessons you have learned from engaging with the people on the ground? What is it that you feel you had not opened your eyes to, something that you think the people are opening your eyes to?
One, people are yearning for change. Wherever we've been, people have been coming in big numbers. And one great question they have been posing is, after now, what next? Because we want to see Museveni and his team off the leadership of the country. So that implies that people are seriously yearning for a change. they only waiting for a direction that this is how we have to attain the change we are yearning for. Yes. Secondly, there are those elements in NRM who have always been saying that NUP is only in Kampala and the central region. Yeah. But these two others have at least they have exhibited that it is not, NUP is not only in Kampala, but it
is countrywide.
It is countrywide. When we reach to Western Uganda,
these two have also disrupted the statements of police doesn't allow us to meet with the people.
Yeah, you see, we shall get to there. But you see, in the beginning, police tried to disrupt. But
so what happened?
It found a resistant population. We were so resistant, and we were like, we are to convene whether you are allowing us or not. And of course, because of the big numbers we are moving with, they bowed in and they were like, please continue with your programs. But the point I was trying to make is that these two words have proven, those who have been saying that NUP is only in Kampala and the central region, yes. They have been proven wrong. When we reached in Mbarara, people were so many, all the streets were congested. We thought that maybe Mbarara being a city, that is how they have always been following, and we can't make it Hoima. When we reached Fort Portal, the numbers were almost doubling those that appeared in Mbarara. When we proceeded to Kasese, my God, we thought that the whole nation now has gathered maybe in Kasese. So wherever we've gone, numbers were just increasing, not reducing. And to me and to those we've been moving with, we are so happy that at least a statement of those elements of NRM who have been like it is NUP is only in the central region and the Kampala is being, yes, is being
it was a rest.
Yes. So those are some of the lessons maybe that I've learned from there.
And now as a people, government in waiting, because that's what they like to call, now you're the leading opposition party. You are the actual government in waiting. From listening to all of those issues, you did mention land grabbing, you've mentioned, of course, the predatory security. Once in a while, they have done a lot of outrageous stuff. What is it do you look to doing as a party? Because I also understand that your message is not just that we need to change. Because after we change, then what? What is it that you're also going to be doing? How are you looking to addressing some of those issues? And what is it that you're already putting in place for people to feel like if the elections come around, I have a good reason to say, you know what, this is an alternative. And it's not just politicking and political sloganeering.
Yeah, ours is not just putting ideas of how we need to change things. We know that this country has been largely messed up by one person, and that is Museveni. If you check sometimes back during the regime of Kaihura as an IGP, there was a lot of extrajudicial killings, and people used to put it at him, that it is him who is a problem. And when Kaihura left the office and we got Ochola, has extrajudicial killings ended?
No.
No. So we think that the constant factor in all this is one man, Museveni. Is the one who knows how he has to play the game, and the part of the game are the killings. Why the killings? You know, every dictatorship, wherever he is, he uses 4 pillars to lead his people. One of them being creation of fear.
Yeah.
These killings sometimes happen aiming at creating fear in the population. If you ask yourself why people died in Kasese, or you remember bombs being thrown on the palace of Musinga, of Rwenzururu. Why those killings happened? Aiming at creating fear, because Museveni had learned that he lost support in the Rwenzururu sub-region, and how he had to maybe to bring back some little support is by creating a lot of fear, and those who love their lives most, they had to say, to be like, if we have to survive, now we have no option, we have to
support you, yes.
So, we think that now correcting ideas of how we have to make it better when Museveni is still around is like a wastage of time. We better utilize or concentrate all the time and energies on how to remove this bigger problem. And that's what we are doing. For those who want to learn about the new ideas we are bringing on board, we developed a manifesto for the last general election, 2021. We documented all those ideas. They are there. But apparently right now, it is not all about how or what alternative views, ideas, or methods that we are to apply when we are in leadership. We are concentrating all our energies on how to see him off the leadership. That's what we have been spreading in the countryside.
Do you feel okay? That's really interesting. That's really interesting. So primarily now it's to, like you said, to see him off, and which any other change seeker anyway is after. But even then, and again, for some people who have not been to those rallies, just one last one about that. Do you get an opportunity to have the people speak to you? Because most of the times, from what we see anyway in the media, it's one end to the other people. Is one speaking, this is what happened in 1986, this is what we need to do, this and that. Do you get an opportunity to interface with like the local leaders in those areas to be able to understand exactly what the issues of each of those regions are?
Yes, we've been also receiving communications from the locals. How? Besides the rallies, the mega rallies you have been seeing, we've been having talk shows, radio talk shows. In every district we've gone, in every region we've gone, we, the president, together with the local leaders, go speak to the people via the radios. And radios have segments of phone calls. Yes. Then locals have also to call in and bring in their ideas or submissions or comments. Then we've always been having local meetings with locals, but mostly locals within our structures. There are people who have been saying that NUP has no structures. I think you've been hearing them, but NUP has structures, only that the leader chose to do it a rabadaba style. These are not the usual structures, with these other parties. For example, we have a structure, a Kunga structure, countrywide. There is no any part of any area of the country where you will go where there is no Kunga structure. And with Kunga structure, it goes from the national, then to the district, to the constituency, to the county, to the parish.
Era omuntu yali ebuza Kunga ebaddewo naye Kunga ekoze eki?
No, kyekoze era obadde okiraba. Golowooza nti abo abantu mubadde mujabuzi ne muyisabiranga nti tujja ne bajja. They have been mobilized. They have been mobilized.
Kunga yekoze ekyo?
Yes, Kunga structure, JD. Then we have another structure of informal sector, formed from the informal businesses, markets, border, riders, those saloons, those Juwakari stuff. that structure is there. Era bebadde bakola omulimu gwe mulaba guno gwa mobilization okuteekateeka. Wherever the president has gone, I think you have always been seeing a level of organization. Ne bwabanga agenze ku mukolo nga gwakuwasa ne bwe guba gwakuziika. You have always been seeing that level of organization. Bani abagenda mu receiving agenda tula wa agenda kwogerera wa tambula atya. It is all that work is done through the structure. Then tulina structure ya freedom border. Freedom border. Every border stage at least has gotten a representative. You know, so wherever we've gone through those structures, we created a community which has to engage the president and the leadership of the party to communicate or to discuss issues arising from those from those communities. Era bano abagamba tisimanyi president yayogedde nga alinga yekubidde side. The people of Luweero addressed issues to him. Bajja wano ne babba emiwogo gyaffe ne babba embuzi zaffe ne balya kino ne kati ate in return batuddiza bwavu, batuddiza tubbako mataka, batuddiza kutta abantu baffe. You know, so president byayogedde Luweero yadde respondinga ku ebyo ba locals bye bakoze eki bye bamugambye.
Nenga statements za president ozina mutozi.
By president tutegeza Kyagulanyi Yesu.
Yes, his excellency the president Kyagulanyi.
Nenga statement zo mukuru Robert Kyagulanyi Center ozina mutozi azijukira.
Yes.
Abaganda temukkiriza Museveni kuzimba dynasty ku ttaka lyamwe.
Yes.
So
yasinziira wano e Luweero era we tulina okusinziira okukola ki omujjako. Yajja wano n'abalimbalimba nti azze kubanunula kumba azze bakola ki kubabbako n'amataka. And is it Museveni stealing, grabbing people's land?
Let me ask you, Habib.
Museveni and his team and
let me ask you, Habib.
Yes.
What is happening in Luweero that is unique to Luweero?
What is happening in Luweero that is unique to Luweero are the
because when you see from the point he was speaking,
yes,
he sort of portrayed it that you see what as Vaganda here, we sort of
seem
to have
yes. He said it well.
So what is that stands
up to date? The grandchildren of those who surrendered their lives and their property to the so-called liberation brought by Museveni are still cultivating on the scars of their fathers. That is only unique to people of Luweero. In your area, are there scars of those?
I actually come from the Luweero triangle.
If you are from there, then you can understand.
But it also goes without to mention that during the struggle, it's true that people did die in Luweero. And I think the biggest...
And the scars are still there.
Yeah, there. In fact, when you're going to where I live, there's a place called Dwaniro. I don't think you guys passed there. There's a place called Dwaniro. They sort of gathered those skulls and
yes,
them in that place. So yes, there's that. People died, but people also died from all over the country.
Exactly.
So I still want to understand what puts Luweero and the Central Region at that point where Mr. Kyagulanyi was seeming to say that. If anything, it is where the capital is, it's where more businesses are blooming, more than other regions of the country. What is it that's in
you see, Luweero, as a center, let us say, as a center of liberation, because it's where they centered to cause the liberation they're enjoying today.
To spread, yes.
Yes. If you check the developments in Luweero, what is it that you see that this regime has added on the development of Luweero? Are there industries that they have put?
There is
Are there good schools that they have put?
There's Kapeka
Mention.
But you do not find that, for example, in northern Uganda. I did not hear you say in Mbali that you know what, you as people also supported the government to come in place.
Specifically, we are talking about Uluwero.
I'm trying to compare.
For Museveni's time he has been here, he has done no any development in this country. But there are some little small developments elsewhere. Yes. But specifically to people of Uluwero who brought this regime, we could be thinking that they would be enjoying much more than any other area, which is in opposite. There are no good schools, there are no good hospitals, there are no industries. The children there are just struggling to get employment. Most of them are unemployed. Then when you talk about the debts that they are still you know, we've always been seeing people of Ruero calling for their cows, calling for their goats in vain.
Omukulu Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu principal bw'avaayo n'akola statement yeze Ruero temukkiriza Museveni kuzimba dynasty ku ttaka lyammwe Abaganda.
Yes.
National Unity Platform tayina bantu bagiwagira nga si Baganda.
You see, buli bantu oyogera nabo sinzira kwekyo kye bamanyi. When we were at Fort Portal, he was like, tulina okununula ensi yaffe. Then Fort Portal bagiyita tourism city. But what development has been brought to Fort Portal? Okulaba nga developing tourism ali Fort. Nagamba nti there are some countries he has been to. Nga balina Crater Lake nenga Crater Lake eyo eri ku map yansi yonna era nga kuba kubira omudomo ku mu TV na baja advertising. Fort Portal yokka nagamba nti erina Crater Lakes ezisuka mu 15. Otege, what is it that has been done okulaba nga Crater Lakes zino ensi yonna ezoogerako nga bwe twogera ku za Switzerland nga bwe twogera ku za mawanga amalala tulabanga agakola ki. Now that it shouldn't just be a name nti Fort Portal a tourism city. A lot has to be done. Okulaga nti no, indeed it is a tourist city. One but the lines, one but the airport, the airport where tourists can land and depart from.
That I agree, Mr. Buwembo.
That is there. But so when he was in Fort Portal, he spoke about issues specifically around Fort Portal. When he was to Kasese, he talked about the issues specifically for Kasese
and
Omusinga. You know, abantu battibwa wano tulina okulaba nga obwenkanya bujja. Tulina okulaba nga Omumbere akomawo mu kitiibwa. And he even said the day they are welcoming back Omusinga, he will himself be there physically to welcome him back. You know? So, why isn't the government now saying, why did you say about the Mumbere's issues?
No.
But because Museveni has been leading alongside that sectarianism and promotion
and it is
of
what
tribalism.
You want to try to promote. And you are doing the same. You are promoting the same.
For us, we are
omukulembeze yenna nga tonnakola statement. Okimanyi nti statement yakoze Luwere esobola okwono n'obuwagizi bwe bwe yavudde Embayuga yonna gye yatambulidde.
You see, that is what the government is aiming at.
No.
Okuddira byonna gye tubadde babiportraying mu kantu kamu nti ye azimba kya Buganda. Naye I want to assure you. The same people you are talking to are the same people we've been to. Okitege bamanyi bye twayogeredde waabwe. Bamanyi ne bitwayogereddewa eno. Okitegeera. So kati mu kaseera kano bajja kati kino tekyawukaganako n'ekya Nabbanja. Oyagambye nti abantu babasomba kuva e Masaka bali mu basi babajja Kampala. Yes, ne booyogerera bo bamanyi gye bavudde.
No, ekya Nabbanja tekirina.
Bumbala didn't know where the people who were at the Laro of Bumbala came from.
No, ekya Nabbanja tekirina evidence. Yakyogedde kino yakyogedde, the statements are there. Tebazimusibaako inside them.
Yes.
Maybe.
And we are not also denying that he did not say them.
But
and
what we are denying
believe,
are the implications of
them,
those statements.
We shall not allow Museveni building a dynasty here. When we say here, we are not meaning in Buganda alone. Here in Uganda.
But you said in Uganda. But your statement is a principle.
We shall not allow him. You see,
yes. But your statement is a principle.
You see, what you get here, Katinze Ngambi, here. People will say, Agambe ku Digitalk. Even with the principal, since he was in Ruwero, and he said here, people say interpreted it to mean
Buwembo.
Here in Uganda. Even when we were in the never told Derida, Yabagambye, Temukiriza kuzimba wano, you know. So, those who were in Rida can say, Ategezant Mulango, Terbakiriza kuzimba o dynasty. But in any way, in any case, Museveni shouldn't be allowed to build a dynasty anywhere in Uganda. Whether in Buganda, or Lango, or Karezuru, he shouldn't be allowed anywhere.
You'll make a good spokesperson of the party. But we're going to go in when we come back, I want us to because let me tell you, the thing is, politics is sensitive. And we cannot take a blanket cover of what someone says. Because it has happened every time now and again. Museveni has said a statement, and people have had to ask questions, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
And that could affect how he is seen, much less what he gets in the next election cycle. So those things cannot actually be taken lightly. And so I want us to sort of interrogate what that meant, and maybe get a perspective and a hedge into what the president meant, as you called him. Yes. So we're going to go in for a very short commercial break. When we come back, we'll begin from right there. Just what does that statement mean? And also to get into the issue, because I appreciate when you said that when we went to the tourism city, the question was, as a tourism city, what is it that we are doing?
Yes, to portray it to be a
that
tourism
seemed to be an issue-based kind of interrogation. The one in Ruwero was not issue-based. It was sort of capitalized on what this region is. So let's begin from there. When we come back, let's begin from right there.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, recorder. Did you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Let's Up Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Let's Up Stores on all our social media platforms. Let's Up, craft your own footprints.
Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back from that short commercial break. My name again is Register Yahweh. With Farida Bikobere and Mr. Habib Buwembo. We are here to interrogate some of the issues that are going around, especially in the political arena. And we appreciate every single one of you folks for joining in and for following from wherever you're following. Please make it a point to drop in a message where you're following us from, but also drop a comment in the comment section on our Facebook handle. The Alternative Uganda and Digitalk TV will be able to ask some of those questions. So if you know something, we're here to learn from each other. So if you have an issue that you think we need to sort of pay attention to, please do drop it in the comment section. And towards the end, we will be able to address some of those issues. Now, Mr. Buwembo, yes. When we went to the break, and I appreciate the fact that you're doing serious representation of the party. You do as I thought if I was a member, I'd campaign to you for you to be the spokesperson. So to begin with, and I'll speak from the point where we closed him. When you went to Kasese, you talked about the issues that have been
affecting that
Kasese,
side.
yes. You talk about the Omusinga and the kingdom, and those were genuine issues. Because those people were actually affected by that. People lost their lives. And so it was fair to talk about the issues. When we went to Tororo, Fort Portal, rather, you talked about the issues of tourism because that's a business that could bloom in that particular region. When you went to Mbale, let's say you talked about the issue of that. When you went to Kabale and that. When you went to Ruwero, this is the thing that has been happening. It's not just about me as an individual. It has been going through the social media. Why is it that his meeting in Ruwero wasn't just about the issues that are affecting Ruwero? For example, there's Kapeka Industrial Park. Why weren't the issues that, how are you utilizing this park? How can we make it better? How can we create more jobs? How can we attract more investments in this region? Why was it about the Abazokurubanambi and Chintu and not wanting a hegemony of Museveni in Uganda? Why was it about Buganda this time, not about the issues of development in that particular region?
You see, we believe it or not, partly Museveni has used Buganda to extend his dictatorship or his leadership. So what the president was saying is that people, the people here, the Baganda here, don't be used. Don't allow Museveni to use you, building the what? The dynasty. By using them, previously in some few days, you've been hearing about the story of clan members, clan leaders who went to Museveni without the knowledge of their boss, the Kabaka, without the knowledge of the Katikiro. So, if you can bring back that story to what the President, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi was addressing, you can see the point that he was trying to bring out. That the Baganda, please, we have traversed the whole country. Outside there, they are like, for us, we are strong. But in the central region, you have done little or less to see us getting rescued from this what? From this regime. If you can recall, if you follow up the oral speech of him, he even said, when we were in Eastern, the Bijirwas, did you hear him mentioning the name Bijirwa? The Bijirwas were like, Mutwazikemu Central Region. Tuje, wetumalo kutwalaganya omusajja today wafe. Meaning that there were voices from these other parts of the country which were sounded like it is Buganda that is still fading other areas from this liberation. Buganda has done less.
Okay. So
has done little.
So
his statement was like, please, let us
wake up. Let us wake up. No.
Let us wake up and deny this man building a dynasty on our land.
So to interrogate, just 1 second, then you can come in. To interrogate just that, in the previous elections, it has been widely said that the central region is a place where Museveni lost elections. Yeah, and that means that other regions he was performing better than he did in central Uganda. So is it still fair to think that the central region is still lagging behind as far as change is concerned compared to other regions?
You see, we are so clear during these tours that we are not discussing issues to do with elections. And we through our leaders, we have constantly said that an election of its own cannot help us remove this regime. All opposition, all change-seeking forces have come to an agreement that an election of its own cannot remove a dictator. So, when we are talking about forces or forces of removing a dictator, we cannot measure them by the number of elections, by number of votes that we are gathered in the previous elections. It is true, Central Region overwhelmingly voted for Kyagulanyi. But when it comes to now assertiveness in that line of removing a dictatorship, Central Region has done less. You remember a time when demonstrations, countrywide demonstrations were called for, not by Kyagulanyi, but by United Forces of Change. In Central Region, nothing happened. But you saw what happened in Eastern, for example, in Busoga, Jinja. Roads were closed, people were demonstrating everywhere. But in Central, business was normal. As usual. So, I think that is...
Central had also suffered its own share of bruises. You remember the 18th of November, what happened here? So maybe people were trying to avoid that.
But it did not only happen here. It also happened in Eastern. Demonstrations were seen in Eastern, that is Busoga. Demonstrations were seen in Western.
But Kampala was more bruised.
Yes.
Abafa basinga wano.
No, now fight is another story we can discuss another day. But you say,
Mokolo Habib, Bwogamba nti Museveni ayagala kuzimba dynasty. Do you agree agenda ayagala kugizimba kale? Kakabwa abanga ayagala kugizimba. Lwaki message ya dynasty Museveni agenda ayagala zimba dynasty kubugate mwaji wa bembale muyambeko abaganda.
Tebaje wabuli wamu
mwaji wabuli wamu. Banaye muyambeko abaganda Museveni aleme kuzimba dynasty mu Central. Kubanga katugambe kale Central eri strategically located.
Central mukayebera mu Uganda ona.
Bwabanga azimbye dynasty does not only affect Baganda. It affects all Ugandans tukirize. Lwaki message y'okulwanyisa Museveni muji wa Baganda kutakaliye Buganda. That was the question people asking.
Y'okulwanyisa Museveni tujiwadde buli wetubadde. Buli wetubadde tujiwadde. Era nga tuzukusa bannayuganda muzuuke tulabenga ekizibu kino ekitulya tukitwalaganya kati sincha. That has been our message. Ekyayawuseeko Luweero kwe kukuutira abaganda ba wano nti omusajja temuwa kataka kwazimba dynasty. You know, abeeri bali redo tukwasirizaako mutwalaganya. Ne kati wano tumutuuzizza abamuwadde gap ne tumuwa okwegazanya n'akozesa abaana baffe n'akozesa bajjajja baffe bakitaffe bwe tugambira nti nedda bw'agezaako okukozesa mugambe nedda saaga kuliraana kizibu singa abaawo wano tumwesamba I do believe Museveni yandibadde yagenda dda abasajja abagezi bonna bakozesa baana ba wano.
Let me ask you, if Museveni woke up tomorrow and thought, you know what, since you do not want me to build a dynasty here, I am going to relocate the capital state to somewhere in northern Uganda or in western Uganda for that matter, what would Baganda say?
You see,
because now we are trying to take away the dynasty, so we do not use you. What would you think in Uganda? And what
we are saying we are removing him today. Now, if we start bringing issues to do with developing a city elsewhere, it cannot be built in 1 day or 2 weeks. So, Museveni, with any proposal from Museveni, for us, we are giving it a dead ear. I'm telling you. Because we are not allowing him any more time to do anything.
Mukulu Buwembo nze kyendowooza ne bannayuganda abamu abalala abatasobodde kujja mu studio is bwe tuba tulwanyisa omuntu gwe mugamba nti ali tribal tetukozesa ate tetubeera nga ye ng'ate mmwe bwepresentize nga bawulutanative. We should not be like ng'omuntu gwe tulwanyisa.
We are so much against tribalism. We are so much against sectarianism. We are so much against all those kind of neveranga kwawula abantu ku madini ku level ya madini nekyo tekijjawo kugamba nti no Buwembo Muganda era bwemba neyogerako nga neyogerako ng'Omuganda tekitegeeza nti am promoting tribalism naye kyetulwanyisa yembeera ey'okukola emirimu ng'ogikolera ku line yaki ya tribe. For example, if you checked nadde ndaba list y'aba returning officers aba electoral commission, all the names Chichocho, Mwesije, Tuina Masco, Tuina Mugabe, Tuina countrywide. But to know about DPCs, you check. That kind is what we are against. But people presenting themselves in their tribes, it's not in anywhere in harm. People presenting themselves alongside their religions, it is not in any way an evil, you know. So when Kyagulanyi is in Luweero speaking to his brothers and sisters, and he says, Baganda bange, faba wano mu Buganda, ffe tufuuse ekizibu tukontributinze kinene mu kulemezaawo ezzibu lino, tekirina buzibu. But if he said, tulwane nnyo ffe ng'Abaganda, obuyinza tubufune, tububeeremu then awo nga tugamba
nga tuva ku nsonga tugiggalewo tugende ku nsonga endala. Bw'ogamba nti mwe bazzukulu ba Kintu n'Ennambi, kati nze atali muzzukulu wa Kintu aze kulala eyo.
He was addressing the bazzukulu of Nnambi and
Kintu. Kati wali mu kulala eyo kwaliko abatali bazzukulu ba Nnambi. We agree.
Yes.
Are they still part of you?
You see,
are they still part of the action you are calling for?
Yes. Yabadde mu Buganda.
We agree mu Buganda mulimu abatali bazzukulu ba Nnambi. You know.
I know. Ne mu tent y'omu abatabaddemu betuyita abazaana n'abaami baani Bassaabasajja. Okitegeera? Kati in that line bwe babeera nga bali mu tent eyo nabo babeera bazzukulu ba Nnambi ne Kintu. Okitegeera? So the message
nedda si bwe kiri naye roja kamini
message yadegenda wani bazzukulu ba Nnambi ne Kintu.
I had one, because again these political statements have far-reaching implications. Now, because literally the speech he was giving there was, it could very potentially harm any non-Baganda who had businesses in these regions. It could. It could, because let me tell you the impact of that. I have a friend. Yesterday he went to a chapati store to buy a chapati. When he was ordering, he's from the eastern. When he was ordering, his Uganda wasn't, these days they say Uganda. So the man who was selling the chapati asked him, Ukodachi Buganda.
Is it?
That's what he told him. And those are things that actually, and we might overlook these things. but they do have implications. So these settlements can actually potentially harm these businesses. So do you think that if to Muhimbis or to Muine or whoever from Kabari wanted to felt unsafe to set up a business, for example, in Luweero, another potential investor would come and set it up?
Now,
do you not see that?
It is like you want to put it like, when we say we are denying Museveni building a dynasty in Buganda, it is like
because that goes for Banyankole,
like Museveni represents Banyankole and
a dynasty is for one person.
Some of us, myself inclusive, we believe Museveni belongs to no tribe in Uganda.
So dynasty just in Berimobani.
We believe Museveni was just brought up by people in Western, but he does not belong to them.
You know, Western Uganda.
Western Uganda.
Answer my question. Dynasty,
he may call himself Usimanyi. What name? The new name. The new name he has Tibu Haburwa. But Museveni does not belong to any of our tribes. He has something that is.
Where does he belong?
Where does he belong? Is
an origin of Uganda? Museveni is not a Ugandan. We have said it several times, and those who have the proof can also speak. You remember at one time, Winnie Byanyima said so. That was 2001, I think. He said, you are not a Ugandan and you are disturbing us. So Museveni threatened her, like, I'm going to deal with you. She was like, I have proof. Intimidate me again, I will throw the proof on the table. Did he again intimidate her? There is another prominent Ugandan. Was he Bidande who addressed him as a bastard son, and Museveni intimidated him. So he was like, please check what the definition of a bastard son is. You are. If you want proof, I can present. Did he again intimidate him? So those who knows his origin knows him as someone who is not Ugandan. And when we say that we are not allowing him building a destiny on our dynasty on our land, we don't mean him as with Banyankole, the Byamujishas, as you are trying to put it.
That's what
the Byamujishas, the Twinners should join us saying, please find your way. But
you have just said it. Polling, did you say polling says Kulikobani?
Yes.
And then you are here denying it. Tebali part of the dynasty of the president.
Tribalism, how tribalism is promoted. When you choose a single tribe against others, that is what tribalism is. Yes. I did not say that those are brothers and sisters to Museveni. I did not mean that. Check it. So, ours, Chetukola, when the president is speaking about himself, he addressed himself as a Muganda. And that shouldn't be seen as a harm. It shouldn't be seen as an evil. He is.
Of course it is not.
He is a Muganda, you know. When he's talking to his brothers and sisters and he says, Baganda bange mulabe, that shouldn't be seen as a sectarianism. They are his brothers and sisters. So him who doesn't belong to any, he believes, he feels unsafe because he has none to call a brother and sister. Maybe. If he's accusing him of that, maybe. Naye, omuntu okugamba ti baganda bange, wesi bayita baganda bange bayite bani.
And Farida, your other topic is aside from this one. So before we leave this one, the very last one for this matter.
You had a question about police not disrupting.
Yeah, when Jagala tugende.
Yeah, Okay, I think we can go to that, then this will come later.
Muzenga mukuba sijja kikosanga gwe gokikozeseza naye nga muze mugamba abantu muzenga mugamba abantu nga mugamba buli twagala okugenda okumitinga bannayuganda tubeeko ne kye tubagamba tubawe message yaffe eya liberation police etataganya this time round babalabisiza bamwerabisiza mu njogera yammwe.
Yes, police, Ugandan police has been on record of denying opposition leaders and members from convening.
The freedom of assembly.
That freedom of assembly. But as we have always been saying, freedom and rights are not given. They are fought for. You don't beg for your freedom. You don't beg for your right. You fight for it. You get it? So, with that background of denying us rights to assemble, we have been fighting hard to ensure that we regain that freedom, we regain our rights. Through part of the fighting, we launched the campaign called Labisa, Mubalabise. We have been exposing the evil acts by those officers in police, in uniform, and using our small gadgets, these phones, the computers. And now, after Okubalabisa, we have gone to another level of taking these evidences captured through the Balabisa campaign to international communities. You know, those security organs are largely sponsored by international communities. The funds, they are being funded, their work is being funded by international communities. So we are like, guys, this is what you are funding. Violation of human rights, violations of people's freedoms. People are not allowed to assemble, people are not allowed to associate, people are not, and you continue funding. Of recent, you've had those international communities threatening to withdraw their funds on the line of human rights violation. You know? So, and some funds have been withdrawn, I believe. And then another campaign that has been ongoing is a campaign of launching the People's President documentary. That documentary also exposes a lot of evils that has been done by security guys. That documentary has been launched on several platforms, international several platforms. And now warnings have come out from those international communities against to these police officers, to the army, and warning them if they continue practicing the same, how they will put sanctions on them. And even, in fact, some have been sanctioned. So, police is at panic. Museveni's regime is at panic. They have no option. So far, Museveni and the son and some accomplices have been dragged to International Criminal Court, and the International Criminal Court has received their files. We are waiting for we call them summons for their arrest. So, they had panic. Since we have fought for these rights and freedoms, these people are no longer having an option of stopping us, but only allowing us continue enjoying the freedoms that we have fought for. And that is what we have seen. That's what we've been enjoying.
So, let me ask you, and I'm just hoping that NUP and the leaders are not being contradictory. On some occasions, the president's principal has said that Museveni is also an agent. He works for some of the Western powers and all that. But he is also the same person who turns and calls upon the international financiers to cut funding to Uganda. So how do you see this
yes,
working?
Museveni for so long has been an agent of international communities. But
so
he's an agent on the behalf of Ugandans. If Museveni wasn't the president of the country, he wouldn't be loved or used by those international communities. So, by Ugandans now raising up and saying, this man you are using on our behalf is an evil. And soon we are pushing him off. But we are seeing you. You are the people sponsoring his activities. You are the people sponsoring his evil acts. They are also being, now they are feeling being threatened. They know Museveni can no longer be with them for other 10 years. For whether naturally or manually, you know, Museveni has to go. And if he is to go, they know they need another person they are to deal with. And that person they don't know. So if they are Ugandans who are pointing at them that you people, we are watching you, and they are still in need of dealing with Ugandans, they also have to put a step behind and say, please, let us watch this space. So now, the president, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi, has played a very wonderful role at bringing down or bringing these Western countries to their senses that all they are dealing with Museveni is on behalf of Ugandans, and Ugandans are not happy because their human rights have been violated, their freedoms have been violated. Now they are trying to see how they can now harmonize with Ugandans by putting some restrictions and sounding some threats to Museveni and his agents.
Mukulu Buwembo kankubuuze. Has Museveni stopped implementing interests of Western countries in bed with?
He has not, but he's in conflict with them. You see now, he has always been in the same bed with Americans, the British, and of recently you've seen him going to Russia against the Americans and those Western countries will, you know. So he's in conflict, total conflict. He doesn't also know where he belongs now. You will see him now advocating the interests of Chinese against the interests of Americans. Another day you see him promoting the interests of Americans against the Russians. He's also confused. That nayalinga ngabwola akamese munju wokakuba omuggo ku mutwe. Kapapalani katomere kisenge katomere kabadde kabera obwe kato yembera Museveni jayo jitumtusizamu.
I also think,
you see, some people were like, principal abera nnyo ku nnyonyi, principal struggle yagireka. Let me tell you one thing, God brought that man, Bobi, into this politics. Uje twabadde yabagambye omanyi Museveni adajolonga nnyo abakulembeze ba wano. Little did he know that there is an international guy coming on the stage. And indeed, he has used that element of him being international to security, operations amajega America bagayita batya?
Navy.
Walwaga amajama maziwago Swati.
The Navy says, I think they are the top.
Yes, there is when they are in operation. FBI. While state government, the enemy is being abligad. Abligad. When I asked what it means, it is like mubanga bakusazeko, wansi bakusazeko, ne mumbirizi. Have you seen when they are in operation? Nebasalako nnyonyi ziri mu bbanga kati wabakomanda abalala balimu bali ku migwa balengejja abalala bali wansi kati abalala balumba kati Museveni is being a brigade. He doesn't know so what to do. That's why you see him one day promoting himself as the next candidate in the next general election. Another day is like promoting a son. Another time is like looking at a wife. He doesn't know so what to do. He's in total confusion. He's being abrigaded by this international guy called Bewanye.
Mukulu Buwembo nsaba kubuuza.
Bewanye amwetoolodde wakane muki?
Bwe mugendeyo ne mu advocating okubanga basala ku Uganda obuyambi. And Bank of Uganda, banka yensi yonna nevaayo negamba nti tukyawadde Uganda buyambi olw'ensonga zino ne pointing ensonga zaayo. Is it your score or?
You see, let me tell you one thing. Abantu bangi baagala okulya eggi ate baagala n'omuwula. Bw'oba oyagala kulya eggi omuwula gwerabire kubanga eggi lye livaamu enkoko gy'onaalyako ki omuwula. Museveni, when he was bringing the liberation, is singing always, he had to kill 500,000 people. He had to cause no one to go to school. He had to cause people not sleeping in their houses. He had to distract all the gardens, all the, plantations for Ugandans to realize the liberation. For us, we have chosen a non-violence struggle. We are not to stop anyone from going to school. We are not to kill any Ugandan for us to bring the liberation we want. But through non-violence still, there are some sacrifices we must stand up to take. Oyinza okugamba nti World Bank esibye ssente obutaziwa Museveni. Bwebadde ezimu zibadde zikola ki?
Zibadde zirina bye zikola.
Nga ki? Kitubuulire.
Zibadde zirina activities ezirwana.
Ng'oggyeko okusponsoringa birthday parties za mutabani we bawala be bazaalira Germany. Ye bwalumwamu amavivi omusanga ali mu America bamunuuna musimanyi fruits ezo mu mavivi. No kugula laba emmotoka zatambula nazo. It is said every day Museveni spends $1 billion shillings. Where does he get that money? The money we are getting from our taxes, local taxes, are enough of financing ebintu ebitono byetukola ki byetwetaaga. Okitegeera? Kati bwe tuzikozesa obulungi tusobola okudevelopinga eggwanga lyaffe nga tetulina n'amabanja gatutuumyeko than okubeera nga omuntu omu yeewoola ku lwa bannayuganda ffenna ne tubeera nga every Ugandan as we are speaking today alina ebbanja lya million meka 2 n'omwana omutwayo akazaalibwa every Ugandan nezikoze eki.
Mukulu Buwembo, do you agree nti World Bank okuvaayo negamba tegenda kuwa Uganda sente ina implications to Ugandans, not only to Mr. Museveni?
It has implications to Ugandans. Nga bwe mbagambye nti tuli mu liberation, tuli mu lutalo lwa kwenunula n'olutalo olwaffe mu kifo ky'okutta bannayuganda ekitundu ky'emiliyoni.
Kale kamubabonereze
lwakiri kabatuggyeko sente ezo bwe zinaabanga okuvaawo okuzisiba kwazo kwe kutwala Museveni tukigumire bannayuganda tweggyeko ezibu eddene than okubeera nga kuba Museveni.
Don't you think abasajja okubanga
n'okubeerako kwe oba alina mulwana oba atalina mulwana bannayuganda tebaakoma kufa mu luwero lwokka bakyafa. Walabye abantu 300 n'okusoba abaafa e Kasese mu linnya lyaki they are disturbing the peace of Museveni by not voting him. Walabye abantu bwe baafudde e Masaka baafa mu 2016 nga twakava mu kaluka 2016 ojjukira ebijambiya ebyali e Masaka. Then Kayihura n'avaayo n'agamba ab'ebijambiya twabakutte baabano n'ayita kamera z'eggwanga for interview. Baabano twabakutte babannyonnyole engeri gye badde batemamu. One guy said bwe tubadde tugenda okutema patrol ya police yetuwa cover netuvaako emabega. You hear that? You remember that story? And Kayihura said, ono alimba ebye mu bisazeemu. How did that case ended? Bw'abanga bali be yasigaza bali genuine. Baba wakisonyiwo bababonereza ku lw'Abannayuganda bali basse bakomawa 2021 tuze tulabye story kyekimu kyebijambiya so Bannayuganda okusigala nga tuli mu mbeera efa n'okukkiriza ne tugamba nti kale emyaka ebiri oba gumu twerekereze sente za World Bank twerekereze za European Union then tulabe engeri gye twalirizamu omusajja ono musalewo kiki mwagala walabye nalabye story yawadde ku TV omusajja y'omu Kayihura gwe yatuleetera Sobi wamulabye ng'ayagala kati era ng'ayagala bwa Lord Mayor ne Sobi y'omu Kayihura lwe yamutuleetera nze mbadde ntulugunya abantu mu kibuga nsakulira abakubi b'obutayimbwa you know era Christmas eno mugenda giyitamu nga temulabye kutaataganyizibwa kwonna kubanga nkwataganye ne mukama wange you know ebikolwa ebyo kitegeeza nti biri sponsored by the state lwetabyagadde nti tebibeerawo lwewaliwo kanku ekyokulabirako ekisembayo lwewaliwo ekitulugu ekitabakyala Ntebe Nansana you remember
yes
how did it end that was after Museveni going to those areas n'agamba kenzo wano tuwakyali kuddamu kola ki
kota mchala
indeed
Does that mean he was finding it then?
Before he had come the killings were and when he came and said no more it ended. Why did he wait for all those numbers to lose lives?
Because
if he had the solution.
Let me ask you.
So let me tell you one thing. Wetubanga twagala okuwona ebyo byonna tukkirize struggle yaffe tetulina kwetugenda kutta ne twerumyeko enjala abadde ayambala essaati nga kwangala ine alinako essaati 10 beerako n'essaati 3
Buwembo okimanyi nti World Bank obutawa Museveni Center agenda ku exploiting Abannayuganda azibajjemu
yes by exploiting them kirungi oba kibi naye Bannayuganda ffenna bwe tunaabanga tuli ku level y'okutegeera kwekumu Museveni tajja kusula olunaku lw'anaatandika okuexploitinga buli omu ffenna ne tubeera nga tulowooza ku Museveni as the problem of this country nga ffenna tumuloleezaako ku level y'emu. It is the day we shall all raise up and say enough is enough, Museveni must go.
And you see, and I'm glad you did mention, you talked about Ibijambia and all of those things. And it's terrible that it was happening to Ugandans. But we also have seen terrorists and those things happen even to the most developed countries, the ones who have the best security, the ones who have the most intelligence. But it has still happened. Does that mean that if that happens here in Uganda, it is therefore sponsored by Museveni?
But you see,
because honestly, I want us to be fair.
Is everywhere.
That as we talk to
but
Museveni,
how does state react towards the terrorists?
But you're the same person who said the president went there and they stopped. What does that mean state response therefore?
Ours is a continual killing. Every year, every time, every season, they just change the methods of killing.
Because that's
even
what the security means.
Even in this year, now they have started with bombs, planting bombs. And I can tell you, with the bomb story, we can embrace it. Now Uganda has the best intelligence worldwide. Because the terrorists planted 6 bombs. And all the 6 were able
found
detonated by the they were detected by the intelligence and they detonated them.
So you don't believe in your security? You as a Ugandan, temukiriza security yammwe.
We have no threat here.
What makes you think so?
You see, let me ask you.
You see,
over kutugamba wano nti Museveni is now fighting with everyone. He's fighting with the US. He's fighting with everyone. Don't you think those people might want to disrupt it?
The same tactics he used in the bush are the same tactics he's applying when he's in leadership. Himself is the leader. Himself is the rebel. Himself is the terrorist. Himself is the so. He has groupings, like I've given you an example of Sobi. Sobi was being used under the control of Kayihura. And the day Kayihura withdrew him is the day Ugandans got the peace.
So when Sobi stopped, does that mean that as a Uganda you cannot do anything else?
Did we realize any Kataimbwa in Kampala that season when Sobi said no?
But again, here's the thing.
So the last one. During the walk to work, Kayihura deployed the Chitata and the 2010 to disrupt the opposition members from conducting their activity. So they could mingle into the opposition members and now start stealing from the nearby shops, stealing people's phones and what. And in the evening, Kayihura comes out to say, you see, these people who are demonstrating, their aim is not only demonstrating, but stealing people's what? Property. The day the government withdrew Kayihura, Chitata and his team, the hooligans, how often have you seen demonstrators stealing people's phones or anything from the shops?
So let me again, and I want to ask you, I hope now you can listen a little bit. So because we had a demonstration here in Nairobi very recently about the Odinga,
the Maandamano,
yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, that whole thing. And a lot of looting did happen. Now, I do not know if we need to qualify that to one of the parties. But again, as I was speaking about security, and insecurity is everywhere. When Abijambi happened, some people are saying, you know what, the president and the people and the security forces have neglected us. And when they stopped, they said, security agents.
Yes.
What do you want the security to do? When there's insecurity, you say they are not doing much. When they address that problem, you say, it's because they are the same people who have been causing it. When do you appreciate security for the road?
I believe that insecurity is everywhere. But what the state does always, when insecurity occurs and it deals with it, later it releases a report about what the source of insecurity was, what are the mitigations that have been put in place, and what are the future maybe measures that have been put in place not to avoid such another
real occurrence.
You see? Give me one insecurity incident in Uganda that has occurred and a report was released. Because when if we are to talk about bombs today, bombs are not happening for the first time in Uganda. In 1990s, it happened. Recently, you remember a bomb at say CPS, Parliamentary Avenue. Who is responsible? What source of these bombs have you been told? You know, when Museveni came to address the nation about the insecurity, we saw that he has a report put on table about the findings. He only came to counter-accuse the Muslims because they pray hard, they are so much in the mosques, they are against the pork. You know, what sense was his speech making in regards to the bombs that were happening in Kampala? So that way of handling, of managing things, make us think that no, we are just in a theater. This is another state managed prayer. It is done, chapter closed. It has maybe an intention. Maybe now people think that since Bobi Wine and the team are traversing the country, attracting numbers of people following them. Now, these bomb planting may be aiming at regulating the rallies, the opposition rallies. Until when you come out with a substantive report against my thinking. It's when I will withdraw my thinking. But as long as my thinking is the only that is on the table, then it remains.
So it becomes legitimate.
Yes, you know, we are the only member that are giving reports. I can give a report that it's state that killed people. The ladies in Nasana and Entebbe. Somebody came and said they should stop, they stopped. Until when you bring an alternative report, giving a source of that murdering.
You don't have a report.
That's when I withdraw mine.
You don't have a report, you have a theory. But
okay, I have a theory. And it is legitimate until when you bring a report that washes it away. You get it? So this is the country we are. It is like we have no state. And unfortunately, a state has gotten the structure, which structure is being sponsored by the money she's crying for, that we are now being allowed for it being withdrawn. It is herpress. It is herpress.
Singa President Museveni yagende
banka. Bwezibanga zisponsoringa police kukuma bulamu bw'abanna Uganda. Ne bwezinavaawo zibaddewo ng'obulamu bugenda. Bwezinavaawo era obulamu bugenda
gendera ddala.
Mujja kuba bugenda mpola mpola kubanga kati abadde influencing bafu abadde bayambako bafuriweringa okulanga obulamu bw'Abannayuganda buvaawo bajja kuba bazebbali. You know, bwe tunaleeta government eriwo kulwa abantu erumirirwa abantu ng'erimu Bannayuganda nga si bagwira mujja kunyumirwa ensi yammwe mujja kwerabira n'ebyo bye musubiddwa mu myaka 37
I hope if by any chance you do get a government, I want to look for you in the next 15 or 20 years. And we'll be talking about these particular things and I'll get your side of the story. but before we
but you see, it is very possible changing and developing this country.
Yeah, I said
the history has it. During the time of Idi Amin, those people in the United Arab Emirates used to seek help from Amin's government.
Yeah, true.
Including food. Those people of Dubai.
Yeah.
Today, what is it that people in United Arab Emirates need from Uganda?
Nothing.
We are the people now who are begging from them.
Yes.
You know, how did they make, what is it that they did that saw them where they are, and what is it that we have not done that is seeing us?
Is it a leadership structure or a geographical structure issue?
No, it is not geographical. What is it that geographically Dubai has that we don't have that is making it where it is, and you see, it is all about governance system, the governance. Because Dubai, together with the United Arab Emirates, have developed their country, all countries, around the 3 T's. That is trade, tourism, and transport. They have invested a lot in transport, that is the Emirates Group. In the tourism, they only have, you call them beaches with some good sands, which they had even during the time when they were seeking help from here. Another is trade. They have invested a lot in hotels and
hospitality,
the hospitality part of it. Those just 3. If you ask Uganda, what plan do we have for our development? And who knows it? Who has it?
We have a Myoga.
Myoga to do what? You know, because let me tell you, by the time Dubai was seeking help from Uganda, it is a time when the governance then had concentrated at investing in farming, agriculture. And Uganda was known for selling coffee at the world market. Today, when Museveni came in and he was like, agriculture cannot take us anywhere, let us go industrial. What is it industrial that we are trading on the world market? What is it?
Nothing.
I wanted us before you close.
So it is the governance that is...
By the way, selling gold.
Gold? Whose gold? The gold stolen from Congo.
I wanted that before we conclude in respect of your background, where you came from, the things with the FDC right now, and on what you think of it, and was it a reason why you left?
I authored a letter on 27th December of 2022. Among the issues that I put forward in that letter was issues to do with accountability. Another was how Nandala and the team were committed to fighting down activists in the party. And I okay, those are the past.
Okay, for what is happening right now with the party, because it doesn't even affect you as all.
Of course.
Opposition. How would you advise them to weather this kind of situation where they are? Right?
They should allow the party organs to function, because if the members of FDC allow the leadership capturing organs of the party, what we are seeing happening in Uganda is what will be seen happening in FDC. The problem that is challenging Uganda is that we allowed Museveni and his small team capturing all institutions of Uganda. Yeah. You cannot see Bank of Uganda functioning, you cannot have Parliament functioning, you cannot have police functioning, army functioning, unless under the directive of one person. So what is happening today in the FDC are organs, if we are to relate to Uganda to FDC, the organs of the party are the institutions we are talking about. All organs of the party are being captured by one person or two people. NEC is not sitting. I hear National Council is not allowed to sit. Even when the chairman, in his constitutional mandate, calls a special national delegates conference, you hear one person threatening it cannot sit. Yeah. Where does he get that power? You know? Yeah. Once that is allowed by FDC members, that one person can decide which organ to function and when to function and how, then the party is no more. Is no more. Is no more. So, what I can advise colleagues in FDC is to fight for the functionality of all FDC organs. And one thing that has brought problem, people look at the money. Yes, the money is a source of problems. But if the money was being regulated by organs, you could not be seeing all those now.
All of these issues
wouldn't be occurring. If you read the report from the elders committee, they were like, yes, Nanda have borrowed money. On whose behalf did he borrow the money? And money to do what? If the party is to borrow, it is a decision made by an organ, either NEC or National Council. And if an organ decided, then we could not see one person or two people being accused. Yeah. You get it? If an organ decided, it would be able to tell where did we borrow, at what interest, what was the collateral thing. But today, you have to beg from one person at his mercy to reveal how much did you borrow on our behalf. What are the interests? What was the security? You know, once the organs failed, this is what you see. I do believe, I trust some leaders in FDC. They have they have the capacity, they have a good background, and I don't think that they would love to see issues of FDC being discussed in the public the way it is being done. But all this has happened after one person failing the organs of the party from functioning. In other words, if the organs were functioning, all issues would be resolved from within the party.
Your closing
and you
remarks
have
to
seen
Bewanye.
things praying in the public. You said?
Closing remarks.
My closing remark. Ugandans should wake up and realize the problem of Uganda. And to me and to people who are the same thinking that like mine, the big problem of Uganda is called Museveni. Museveni is the problem of Uganda. Now some people have started saying now the problem is MK. MK is a branch of Museveni. Some people say the problem of Uganda are the Anita Mongos who stole the iron sheets of Karamajong. Anita Mong is a branch of Museveni. So the problem remains one, which is Museveni. If we woke up today and resolved that we want to see Museveni off, all of us as Ugandans, we can do it and we shall be done with the problem that is affecting all of us.
Thank you so much. Webale kubanga otwegaseko olunaku lwa leero, webale ndowooza zo zonna zo sharinze n'abantu baffe ababaddeko. Njagala okubeebaza mwenna abatulabye olunaku lwa leero. Ssenjako dafa webale kutulaba. Omukulu Badman okoze comment enzibu ennyo kyovola tetugisomye naye nga webale kubeerako nga mwena beesimenye mannya nammwe mwebale kubeerako nga mutulaba Rogers. Thank you so much for joining me today. Webale kola naawe. Njagala okwebaza omukulu abadde mu byuma omukulu Mukose Anthony Mukwano webalekera nga okubeera nga ate otuteekayo obulungi nnyo tusinkana olunaku lw'ekyesawa zijja kubaza ezimu nja kubeerawo n'omumbejja Luweddereri and I wish you a very good morning.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.